Human beings have a very deep relationship with the planet, an ongoing cyclical relationship with the planet. We are part of the planet's various cycles. And one of the ways to examine that is to look at how we consume the planet, literally consume the planet in the form of food. Now, a child, for instance, couldn't grow from day 0 to day 1 to day 3 to a week or a year if they weren't given food. And where does food come from? Now, whether that's milk that they're having, or whether they start having, cereals later, or vegetables, or protein in a while in the form of pulses or meat, literally, they are taking that in from the planet. Now, we might add a little bit of a loop to it. The food comes to them from their mother, for instance, their own mother's milk. But the mother is eating in turn from the planet, so indirectly, at least, the food that comes to the child comes directly from, it comes from the planet. It's part of the planet, so we're consuming that. And even every breath that we take, we exhale that. We're taking in the planet, we're taking in the oxygen and the carbon dioxide and the nitrogen of the planet, processing that inside, using up whatever is useful to us and excreting the rest outside. The largest form of our consumption perhaps is water and food, solid food, and we eat that through our gastronomical system, consume it from one side, excrete it from the other side, and then again be part of the planet's cycles. Even a human being themselves is consumed eventually after their death. They're consumed by worms and by insects, etc. So everything that we have, everything that we are, our houses, our bodies are made up of an admixture of this planet. And this house that I am in, this iron or steel, all these metals, this glass was once sand, perhaps. This wood here was a living tree at one point in time, then was chopped down and became fashionable wood. One day it'll decompose. It'll be eaten up by insects, and those insects will then process it and then again excrete it outside. And even if they don't excrete it directly back to the earth, they would, perhaps excrete it in a house, and the wind will blow it away, or another animal in subsequently will consume the remains of this planet as processed by insect number one, and ultimately at some point in time it will all return to earth, like clay, earth, soil, raw earth. And then what shall happen again? A seed will fall into that earth at some point, and that seed will specify to the earth what kind of food does it require, what kind of nutrients does it require, and from within the earth's admixture it will extract what it requires, and perhaps those will be the remains of this wood, which was once upon a time a tree. So this new tree that's growing up, say it's an oak tree, will be eating up the remains of this of this tree, and that's how it is. Again, the cycle of life simply continues. One day that tree will grow, it will yield fruit which will be consumed, it will yield more wood again to be consumed, or not consumed. If humans don't consume it, nature will consume it anyhow. It will decompose and it will die and become part of the cycle. So we human beings, we're inextricably linked with the planet, and when we consume food, we're literally eating up the planet. And by the same measure, if we overeat more than our bodies require, more than our bodies can process, because the body has a system of consuming that which is called the metabolism. And if it's more than the metabolism, the body starts saving up food in the body, just stores it in the body in the hope of processing it later at some point in time. So if you're overweight, over the required amount of of weight, of mass, then we store it around our bodies in the form of fat and just an extra body. And if you think about it, we're just holding on the planet around our stomach. This planet could have been somebody else's. This food could have gone to literally someone else. It doesn't belong to us. Our system can only take as much. So we can decorate it around our stomachs and our bodies and our entire physique. But that's just extra planet that we're carrying on our shoulders. The weight of the world, literally, around our stomachs and shoulders. But that is an aside. The real point is that we are connected with this planet. We are part of this planet. What we are consuming today could have been the remains of insects, of other human beings, literally. It could be so. By the way, 25% of all the dust in the house is human skin that has been shed off. Our skin sheds off continuously, so it becomes part of dust. So we are flying around in our own house also as dust, and that's how closely we are related to the planet. So that's when we say that we are one with the planet. It's not a spiritual saying. It's not a concept or idea. It's not motivational speak. It is a fact. It is a physical fact. It is a reality. It is how things really, really are. We are inextricably one with the planet. We're just one of the phases in this ongoing system which has many cycles. We're part of the water cycle. We consume water and then it evaporates from our bodies. So we're part of the water cycle too. We're just, in this entire huge water cycle, we're just one dot. And through us, through this human beings, they're going many cycles through this being that is human being. There is the water cycle that is going through the human being. There is a food cycle, and there's a carbon cycle. All sorts of cycles are going through a human being. So a human being is nothing more than a complex system of being with a certain kind of consciousness, which is different from the consciousness of other beings, but it is a form of consciousness. And that is it. Human beings are not apart from the planet. We are a part of the planet. We are the planet. And that's just a fact of life.